Welcome to this week Inside Sim Racing. I guess this would be mid-February edition now.
That it is.
Yeah, we got a lot tied up in the first half of February. I'm Darren Ganji here with my good buddy,
Sean Cole.
And this week Inside Sim Racing is sponsored by iRacing.com, and you can get a new membership for $5 or 25% off a year membership by going to our website and clicking on any of the iRacing banners that you see there. And this week we're going to start off a little different than last. And we had a two-part episode. This one we're going to try to keep it to one. And instead of starting with all the big five software, we're going to talk about hardware. Mm-hmm. And our first story comes to us from Logitech, and actually, you're the one that got us this quote.
Yeah, I have a contact over there in the gaming division of Logitech, and basically, this was in response to an article that I'd seen all over the place about Logitech pulling out of the gaming market. And the article implied console gaming, but it didn't specifically say that. So all of a sudden I'm thinking, what about the G Series wheels? What about the G Series keyboard, headphones, all the G Series, gaming series, division stuff? And so I contacted them, and as it turns out, they are out of the console game. There's no more little controllers, webcams, or anything for the console. But this means they're even more committed and putting more emphasis on the PC gaming division of Logitech. So I think that means good things for all of us.
Yeah, definitely good thing, especially for fans of Logitech. And their official quote was, "The PC gaming is a growing market, and Logitech has a strong core competency in key peripherals for this market. If a gaming peripheral works with a PC, it would be included as part of our strategic focus." So, sounds like the G wheel's not going to go anywhere. I gotta say though, what about the DFGT?
That's a good question too.
So we'd like to hear what you guys think about that. Let us know, what you think. I'm sure, like again, I said, a lot of you Logitech fans are going to be happy that the G27 is probably not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And they also left things wide open.
Well, I did ask about the G29 and got nothing as far as the future plans.
No comment. So really cool to hear that they're going to stay in the PC gaming market, and that just breeds more competition for the other guys.
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to transition into a guy that's making peripherals, replacement boards, parts for a bunch of different things. And the company name is Basher Boards. And you guys might have heard of them. Mm-hmm. And, well, I know you have. And first thing we're going to show you is this brake mod kit for the T500.
I'd almost defy someone to guess what that was if you didn't just say that it was a brake mod kit.
Well, we're going to tell you, but yeah, try to guess, and we'll show you some close-ups of this stuff. But anyway, this is a, basically, it's like a bushing for skate trucks, right?
Yeah, like the hinge point, there's one on the top and bottom there.
So it's basically a hard rubber bushing, and this, you put these two inside the original stiff brake mod piece. Add this little piece of aluminum that goes over to keep them in place, and you've got this great progressive style stiff brake mod. And we're gonna check it out and tell you guys about it on a future show. We honestly got so many different things here, we didn't have time to test these out yet, but pretty cool.
Yeah, ultimately this is kind of like the direction that Thrustmaster was going with their heavy duty brake mod of their own, but it has no metal on back of the pedal, so it's just that rubber squishing, but it's the same concept essentially.
Yeah, and you could actually go with both of the bushings or just one if you want a little bit softer, because the two are make it pretty stiff. And then he's also, John is the guy that is behind Basher Boards, also told me he's going to be trying to source some other urethane or like a softer set. So really cool, and that I think it goes for about $12, $12.50, depending on where you live. He'll ship international or domestically. He's here in the U.S. I believe he's in California, but under $20, and it's definitely worth it.
Sort of like the Nixa mod too.
Yep.
I mean, it's like just a very simple mod.
So why don't you take the one on the far, Sean, and you can tell people about that one, and then I'll tell people about this one.
Now this is a cool little box. You can see it's got a USB plug on one end. It's got a PS2.
Is that a PS2? Anyway.
And the AB type USB plug. Anyway, what this is this is the ultimate shifter adapter. And this is gonna let you use any shifter as a standalone shifter essentially, right?
No, you're wrong. This is a shifter adapter that allows you to use any shifter with a Fanatic wheel.
That's right.
So you can take this shifter. Sean's not very well versed in this stuff. I had it. I've been talking to John, so gonna catch Sean up to speed here too. So yeah, this is a shifter adapter, and this allows you to plug, a TH8RS, a SimGear shifter, a TSW shifter into this box, and then into a Fanatic wheel, which will then allow you to play on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 with a decent shifter. No offense, Fanatic, but your shifter's kind of probably one of the worst on the market. But with this ability, you can use one of these nicer, high-end...
cool shifter.
Exactly.
Well, that's awesome. So in Forza, I could be running with my TH8RS shifter.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Can I try this one?
You can go with that one, but I'm going to go this one next. So why don't you get up to speed with what that is, Sean, and then I will work on this.
Oh yeah, this one.
Wait, is this? Oh, okay, I know what that one is. Okay, so this one is this is also a converter, or a filter, actually. So those of you that have bought CSR pedals or the old standard Porsche pedals, they're known to get a little glitchy and not have smooth inputs. And what this does is you plug your pedals into one port there, and then the wheel into the other. It's basically those PS2 cables. I think that's what they're called. And it basically filters or smooths out the inputs for those pedals. So that's that.
Okay. Now this one, in the time you did that, I learned that this is the pedal decoder and adapter. I didn't really learn what it does, though.
Okay. That... Sean's up to speed on all this. This allows you to plug in G25 or 27 pedals into a Fanatic wheel. It's like that converter that we had, but supposedly this does a better job and has a filter.
Okay.
It's called a pedal decoder. So that's that. And here, the device overview, I'll read it. This device does not have a specific intended use. It was designed to be used as a multi-purpose tool. It has connections for Fanatic products as well as Logitech products, the details of which are outlined in the device specifications section of this document. Again, like he says here, it doesn't have a specific intended use, but I don't know. So if you want more information
But I think you're right. Ultimately, this is going to allow you to make any one of those pedals sort of on its own.
Okay, now this next one, this one's pretty cool too. Actually, they're all pretty cool. This guy's really got some genius stuff here. Really high quality looking boards, and he tests everything, so he's really taking this, to heart. This is called the FL2, and this allows you to plug a Logitech shifter, so a G shifter, G25 or G27, either into the PC Direct as a USB device, or you can plug it into a Fanatic wheel.
Oh, that's very cool.
So yeah, so if you had a G wheel and you were changing over to a Fanatic and you didn't want to buy their shifter and you wanted to keep using your G shifter, and you had it plugged directly into the wheel, you don't want to take up another USB port, this is the adapter for you.
So ultimately, Basher makes a bunch of different products that allow you to use some of the common devices out there as standalone or kind of crisscross the way you're using them.
Yes.
So I mean, if that's what you're looking to do, you're looking to mishmash and use a Thrustmaster this, Logitech that, a Fanatic this, go check out his site. He might have the product you need to do your combination.
Yeah, and one last thing, we talked about the pedal filter for the standard Porsche pedals and the CSR pedals. This basically replaces the board inside the pedal unit, so it basically acts like a filter and replaces your stock Fanatic boards. And again, this guy definitely makes some high quality boards. I've seen the ones that are coming out of China from Fanatic, and no offense to Fanatic, but this is definitely some quality stuff here.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool.
So that's going to wrap up the first half of the show.
I need this one, actually, right now.
All right, so Sean's going to take that. So that's going to wrap up the first half of the show. Stay tuned when we come back. If you guys watched my 2.4 hour Daytona recap.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, I do. Brutes of Controversy. But yeah, he does too. But yeah, with Brutes of Controversy, we want to talk about it. And we've got Dylan Duval, the driver of the number 15. Sean sat down with him for an interview and got his side of the story. So when we come back, we'll have that for you. GT Chassis Racing Rigs provided by Human Racing. Go to humanracing.co.th.